Video.
Mhm.
Morning, everyone. This is the April 15th, 2025 Virginia Gas and Oil Board hearing. We're meeting today in the Energy Office in Big Spring Gap, Virginia. This time, I'm going to ask everyone to please silence your cell phones and mute if you're online to minimize any background noise because we're recording this here today. At this point in time, the board will review and approve the remote attendance resolutions for anyone attending remotely. I don't believe we have any today. We have no people calling in today remote. So at this point in time, I'll ask the board to introduce themselves. Move forward. I'll start with Mr. Owens and
Patrick Owens, public member.
Bill Harrison, public member. Gus Jansen, public member, and I'm also serving as the interim chairman.
Greg Gibson, public member. Willie Cochran, Virginia Energy member.
Thank you, everyone. At this point in time, I'll turn it over to Mr. Scrub. I think he's got a quick presentation he'd like to say.
I do. Yes, I'd like to recognize one of our past members. With great pleasure to recognize Donnie Ratcliffe, who was former chairman, been on the board for 23 years. I'd like to present you with something from the board on behalf of all these young folks and hope to see you continue to see you around.
Since this is on the record, I'd like to officially acknowledge the service from the VRS, so I can get my retirement. Hey, so well, I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
You guys turn around here for a second.
Thank you.
So you've got your blue methane slide.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. I'll be in good.
Congratulations. Much appreciated all you've done for years and think you'd be a big help to us in the future too.
I'll try. I'm not going away with it.
Well, thank you.
I only looked at the dog. Y'all gonna be that better.
Thanks again to Mr. Ratcliffe for his
Oh, yeah.
support and participation with us for several years. It's been fantastic. James Studio involved. The next item on our agenda today is the board to receive public comments. I don't believe we have any public comments today. So we'll move on to item number 3. The First Bank and Trust Company escrow agent of Virginia Gas and Board will appear and address the board with quarterly report covering the period from January to March of 2025. This, and Ms. Bailey will call the thing.
I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. I
I'm
believe you all
assuming
have
that
your-
everyone has the presentation report in front of them.
Yes, we did.
If so,
Appreciate it.
we'll start out on page 3 of that report. This is our first quarter summary for 2025. Our beginning balance as of the end of 24 was just shy of $5 million, $4,994,039.19. During the quarter, we received deposits of $32,216.01. Interest earned, this is money market and CD interest, $18,583.88. Fees were deducted of $4,921.07. We had distributions of $140,321.97 for the orders, and then we distributed from the no W-9 list $42,252.93, and that was issued to the state, giving us an ending balance for the end of March, $4,857,343.11. So far, we've processed 4 treasury dockets in 2025 and 9 regular dockets. We've issued over 100 checks. They range, of course, from 1 penny to $35,539.44. We had 108 checks issued for less than $100. So we've issued a bunch of checks for small dollar amounts. but we're getting them processed. Starting on page 5 is the list of our outstanding checks as of March the 31st. And of course, this list is long, but we will be escheating a lot to the state this year. Looking at page 14, this is our check escheatment. And at the last meeting that we attended, we were given approval to escheat anything that was over a year old. So the total that will be escheated to this state is a little over $9,000 this year. So we'll start working on the oldest ones and moving down to the ones that are most current. That way, in case anybody does present a check to be cashed, by chance, that's over a year old, we'll try to work with them and get their money to them as quick as possible. On page 21 of the report, this is our balance sheet. This is just for the month of March. This shows the beginning balance for each account, any deposits that were received in the month of March, the money market interest, the Cedars interest, fees that were deducted, any distributions from those accounts, any transfers to the no W-9 list, audit costs, corrections, and an ending value for each individual account. And that goes through page 28. Page 29 is the list of 3 accounts, 3 names that are on our no W-9 list as of right now. We drastically reduced that list. We have $179.90 sitting in that account right now. Page 30 shows our distributions since First Bank and Trust became the escrow agent. This is broken down per year with deposits coming in and distributions going out. Page 31 is the investment of funds as of the end of March. This will show you that you have $2 million in CDs, brokered CDs, that are all coming due in August of this year. And then $2.8 million in the money market account. Page 32 are the current rates. And you'll see they're kind of holding steady with what they were in January. There's been a little bit of change, but not a drastic change. And then the last page is, it will give you a current CD rates, kind of give you a range of what we have available for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 18 months, and then 2 years, if you wanted to go out that far on CDs. Are there any questions?
Questions from the board? Just real quick, Cody, the CDs, I guess those are all CDs that are coming due in August of 2025, that's correct?
That's correct. There's $2 million of CDs that's coming due in August.
Yeah, were those all 1 year CDs that we had done last year? Is that? Or the
They
mixture?
were, yes.
Okay.
They were all 1 year CDs.
I guess with the current climate, I guess we need to make a decision before the August meeting or around the August meeting to what to do with those funds going forward.
I will be back in the July meeting for the end of June quarterly report.
Okay.
So maybe by that time, be thinking about these will come due the following month. And to decide what to do with that $2 million that comes due.
There's nothing we can really do early with those CDs other than wait until that time frame is up. Is that correct? We just need to see where the rates are at that point in time and make a decision.
Well, you have 2.8 sitting in the money market account. So if you wanted to do $1 million worth of CDs now and lock in another year at the current rates, unless somebody foresees $2 million going out of the cash money market account over the next couple of months.
So that's a consideration for the board. If we wanted to do that now rather than just wait until.
Let me just, this is Bill Harris. Let me ask a quick question. And this is only because I've been looking at some personal things with CD rates. Well, they weren't CDs. These are fixed for the term. Is that correct?
That's
In other
correct,
words,
yes.
so 6 months at 4%, regardless of what the market, well, it should be regardless of what the market does, it'll stay at 4% for that. I just wanted to make sure of that. Okay, thank you.
Yes. If it's a
Thank
CD, we don't purchase anything that has a call date on it.
Yeah.
We lock it in for that term, for whatever that rate is.
Okay, thank you.
Generally, we're a year ago, we were at 4.7, we're already down for 1 year. We're at 3.65 to 4% right now. That's, I don't see the future any better than anybody else, so it may go down even more between now and August. So it may be a prudent consideration to go ahead and move some of that money from the money market fund into a CD now, and then we could replenish that money market fund with our CDs they can do in August if we want to do that. I don't see anything happening over the next 3 or 4 months. It's going to require a big distribution. Anybody else?
Yeah, no, I agree. So you're looking at 12 months?
Yes.
There's only, yeah, that would be that 3.65 to 4.
Depending on
value-
what we can get.
Okay, that was going to be my question.
Yeah, the shorter range CDs.
That's kind of the range that was available on that day, that I pulled those numbers, which was just a couple of days ago, so. Somewhere between 3.65 and 4 was what the 1 year was running.
I think it's probably a good idea to do that. I don't, you know, that amount doesn't change very often. I mean, I know it changes, decreases,
Right.
but are we expecting an influx of
The staff's indication, I don't think we
payment
have any
expectation?
big distributions. We haven't had over the last several years more than $200,000 in the whole year period. At the page. Yeah, since 2022 was the last big year, we exceeded $1 million in distribution, and that probably ended up a lot of the house bill that been relatively small the last 3 years.
And you're gonna have $2 million coming into the money market account
Right.
by, the last one matures the 15th of August.
Mr. Chairman, I might even make a motion to discuss it, that we take $1 million and from that fund and invest it 12 months in CD. I'll go ahead and make that motion.
A second,
I'll second that one.
any further discussion? Just give me on the full board.
Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Jansen,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson, and Mr. Cochran.
Go ahead and make that move now, just maybe that way we'll be a little bit ahead of it when it comes August, and we can revisit it in July if we want to do any more at that point in time.
Right. So that was 1 million in CDs for 12 months.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, we can do that.
Any other questions?
From the board?
You don't have a crystal ball, do you?
No, I wish I did.
Right.
Okay, as always, we appreciate your diligence with managing this account for us. You're doing a great job, and you look forward to going forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Have a good day.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the petition from Pocahontas LLC for the creation of a steel job drilling unit buck number 1 South, 1 panel SGU, docket number BGOB 25-0415-4304. All parties interested in addressing this item, please come forward.
Mark Schwartz and Kelly Berry, good morning.
Good morning. Seeing none of you may proceed with swearing in a witness. Sarah.
Mrs. Berry, do you swear and affirm that your testimony is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Kelly, would you state your name for us, please?
Kelly Berry,
And who do you work for?
Pocahontas Gas LLC.
And do you appear for them this morning, for Pocahontas Gas this morning with regard to this docket item?
Yes,
Who prepared the application notice and related exhibits?
I did.
Who's the applicant? Is it Pocahontas Gas?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and just a sort of a focus for the board here. What we're doing today with regard to this docket item and the one that follows, we had previously created a vent shaft unit and given mining regulations and requirements. As mining proceeds in that vent shaft unit, the operator is being required to seal every panel as they complete that panel. Is correct?
That's correct.
And so, what the point of this first application today is to create a sealed gob unit from the first panel at issue in the vent shaft unit. And then the next item on the docket, because the testimony will kind of overlap, is to extract the acreage from the vent shaft unit that we are using to create the sealed gob unit. Is that a fair summary of what we're trying to do in the first two dockets today?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Since we're creating a unit here, I need to cover some issues with regard to the operator. First of all, is Pocahontas Gas LLC licensed and authorized to do business in the Commonwealth?
Yes.
Does it have a bond on file with the department?
Yes.
Has it registered with the DMME and the division?
Yes.
Have you listed all of the respondents in your notice?
Yes.
And what have you done to notify people that we were going to have this hearing today to create a sealed gob unit out of the vent shaft unit?
We mailed a copy of the petition to each owner within the sealed gob unit by certified mail with return receipt requested. And we also published notice in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph.
Okay, and have you provided the division with proof of publication and with your certificates with regard to mailing?
Yes.
Do you want to add any respondents today or dismiss any respondents today?
No.
So the list that you've submitted and your exhibits are accurate as of now.
Yes.
Okay. In the application, working through that at PDF page 1, if you come down to paragraph C, little c, you note that the field rules, that the Oakwood 2 field rules apply to gob production from sealed gob areas and from longwall panels generally, correct?
Yes.
And we're seeking to create a sealed gob drilling unit here.
That's correct.
And it's unnecessary to pool because when we created the vent shaft unit, we pooled everybody's interests already.
Yes, we did.
Okay. We have added or joined or noticed all of the owners, including people that we have leases from, because we're creating a unit, a fairly large sized unit. Then the acreage is larger than the Oakwood 80 acres, correct?
That's correct.
And what is the size of this proposed sealed gob unit?
It is 298.43 acres.
Okay. If we go to PDF page 8, you have a plat of the, outlined in blue, of the proposed sealed gob unit.
Yes,
And within that unit, you've got various lines and so forth. And is that an identification of the tracks and the acreage that is within the proposed unit that's going to come out of the vent shaft unit?
yes, it is.
Okay. We go to, kind of skipping ahead here, but I think it puts things in context. If we go to PDF page 26, you've got another map. And that actually shows the vent shaft unit 18 in its entirety, and the piece that we're proposing to create the sealed gob unit from the first panel.
Yes, it does.
Okay. And going back to, sorry to skip around here, going back to PDF page, let's see what that is, page 11, you have an exhibit B, and that's a list of all of the owners, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then if we go to exhibit B3 starts at PDF page 17, and that is a list of the folks that we do not have agreements with, a list of the unleased owners and claimants, and exhibit B includes all the folks that were force pooled originally, correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
And then at what have we got at PDF page 21?
This is a representation of the costs associated with each gob well that was drilled within this panel, and an average based on those total actual costs.
Okay, and you subsequently use that average to work into an allocated cost per each 80-acre unit within this that are affected by production from this proposed unit.
Yes,
Okay. If we go to the next page, PDF page 21, it's another map, and we see the proposed sealed gob unit again outlined in blue, but this gives us a chance to see how that proposed sealed gob unit looks when we superimpose mining.
yes, it does.
Okay, and as we can tell from strike that, and is the boundary essentially either solid coal, for example, on the left-hand side, or and I guess the north, or entries as the boundary crosses entries that are sealed?
Yes,
And have you considered in allocating costs, and we'll get to that in a moment, but have you considered the cost of seals?
yes, we have.
Okay. Next page, PDF page 22 is a list of the people that you have agreements with, Exhibit D, that we voluntarily pooled when we originally force pooled vent shaft 18, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and these folks, obviously, because their owners will not have an opportunity, or because they're leased, will not have an opportunity to participate, and that's why we've provided this list.
yes,
Okay, next page is PDF page 22. I'm sorry, 20. Let's see. Okay, exhibit 1 at page 24, we're required to disclose other board orders that affect the proposed sealed gob unit, and is this your list in that regard?
yes.
Okay, next page is what?
This is an estimate of the allowable costs for the sealed gob unit, taking into consideration the average costs per gob well and the sealing costs.
Okay, and then the following page, 26, is another map, right?
Yes,
So reduce that to make sure I can see it here. And that again is the same map we looked at earlier where it shows the entirety of vent shaft 18 unit and the piece that we're extracting.
yes.
Okay. And then if we go to page 30, I'm sorry, page 29, what do we have there?
This is a map that shows the location of all the wells that have been drilled within this proposed sealed area, whether they are producing or have been plugged.
And then the last thing that you've included starting at page 30 is a proposed order in the event that this application is approved, correct?
Yes, it is.
Last couple questions, in terms of terms to be utilized for people who might be deemed to have been leased. What's the royalty and per acre bonus and term that you're proposing?
That would be a 12.5% royalty and a paid up lease of $5 per acre per year for 10 years paid up.
And is it your opinion that the creation of this sealed gob unit, first of all, does indeed enhance mining safety?
Yes,
And in addition to that, if you combine the leases and a pooling order, will this application, if it's approved, creating the sealed gob unit, actually protect the correlative rights of all owners of coal bed methane in this acreage?
yes,
And is this producing from a sealed gob area? Is this a reasonable way to capture remaining coal bed methane in this acreage?
yes, it is.
Mr. Chairman, I think that's all I have.
Questions from the board? Board operates under a motion. Does anyone want to make a motion on this application? Motion approved.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Gilmore, would you poll the board?
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Jansen?
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson?
Yes.
And Mr. Cochran?
Yes.
Thank you. You have approval for that item. Move on to the next item on the agenda. It's a petition from Pocahontas Gas LLC for modification of the BS 18 unit to new acreage being pooled under sealed gob area. Buck South 1, Buck number 1, South 1 panel SGU unit BS 18, docket number BGOB 23-1121-4277-01. All parties have an interest in this application, please come forward.
Mark Schwartz and Kelly Berry.
Seeing no other, you may proceed.
You understand that?
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a minute, Mark.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to remind you that you're still under oath.
Yes,
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I would like to incorporate Kelly's testimony from the prior docket with regard to her employment, preparation of the documents, and with regard to the applicant. So I guess to facilitate a little bit of time saving here.
Okay, that'll be good, no problem, thank you.
Thank you. Kelly, we spoke of this in the prior hearing. This is in fact the modification of the prior board order, or request to modify the prior board order in vent shaft 18 to accommodate the subtraction of the acreage that is within the sealed gob area sealed gob unit that we just created, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, if with reference to the docket number here, vent shaft 18 was created, the unit was created and pooled back in 2023, correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay. We've got basically the same recitation as to why we need to do this in the application. Have a map of the, if we go to PDF page 3, that's a little smaller here. PDF page 3 is a map of what will remain of vent shaft unit 18 after the subtraction of the acreage for the sealed gob unit.
Yes, that's correct.
And if we look to the west or the left-hand side, you can kind of see part of the outline of the unit that we just created that is now, I guess, kind of blank space, correct?
Yes.
Then we've got a considerable listing of tract identifications with regard to that map. And when we get to PDF page 17, you have a revised Exhibit B.
Yes, we have.
And does the interest in unit for everybody listed in revised Exhibit B reflect the new division of interest that they have after the acreage is removed for the sealed gob unit?
Yes, it does.
Go to B is pretty lengthy here. Let's if we go to PDF page 42, we have an Exhibit B2, and that lists the folks whose acreage, it lists the acreage of people that has been removed from the vent shaft unit, either in its entirety or in part, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And having done that math, you get down to the size of the new unit, which is referenced at the top of this exhibit and other exhibits. What's the acreage remaining?
The new unit size is 4,721.14 acres.
And you've used that as the as part of the fraction to create the percentages, the division of interest for everybody that you've listed in your exhibits, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We come down to Exhibit B3, which is at page 45, is a list of the remaining unleased owners and claimants in the resized unit, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Going to the end of Exhibit B3, just for purposes of illustration here, which would be page PDF page 60. If you could find that. What are the total acres that are unleased and the percentage as part of the remaining unit?
The revised unleased acres are 136.92 acres, which is 2.9001% of the revised unit size.
And it's at page PDF page 61, you've given us a revised Exhibit E, which is the payment plan going forward, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Got another map at PDF page 64. We've seen that before in the prior docket item, right?
Yes,
And then the last thing you presented here, which is always included, is a proposed order uh, subtracting the acreage or extracting it from the acreage and recalculating the division of interest and applying those numbers going forward for vent shaft unit 18, correct?
yes.
I think that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Questions from the board? Just one quick question. I think I probably asked this back in 2023. There were several parties listed there with documentation pending, mostly dealing with airships and also some cloud on title. Can you sort of give us an update there? Has anything moved on any of those situations to this point? I know you mentioned
If any updates have been made, they would be noted on the revised exhibit B. So anyone who we have not received documentation of errors for is still listed as documentation pending.
okay, the same thing on the cloud on title. I think you needed some revised deeds.
Yes.
Those
Yeah.
parties are responsible to get that to you.
Yes, they are.
Okay. And any of those revenues generated from this unit, those are being held internally. They're not held in their escrow account. Is that correct?
The tracks with the cloud on title are held in an escrow account.
That's hard.
Yes,
And the airships are held internally by Pocahontas County.
yes, yes.
Okay, just so those parties are aware that that situation still is posed.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Board operates on a motion. Does anyone like to make a motion on this application?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move to approve the petition.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Ms. Gilmore, would you poll the board, please?
Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Jansen,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson,
Yes.
and Mr. Cochran.
Yes. You have approval for that item, Mr. Schwartz.
Thank you.
Move on to item number 6, a petition from Pocahontas Gas LLC for pooling under Oakwood OBID methane gas field 2, unit H36, docket number BGOV 24-0618-4285. All parties wishing to address this application, please come forward.
Mark Schwartz and Kelly Berry.
Seeing no other, you may proceed.
Thank you. Kelly, I'm going to remind you once again that you're still under oath, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, if we could incorporate Kelly's prior testimony with regard to her employment, the preparation of the documents, and with regard to the operator of Pocahontas, I would appreciate it.
You have that approval.
Thank you. Kelly, this is a pooling, a straight up pooling under Oakwood 2, correct?
Yes.
Was this unit previously pooled as an Oakwood 1 unit?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And who was the operator of the unit when it was originally pooled?
That was Appalachian Energy.
Okay. And what happened to the coal bed methane well or wells in that unit?
Those wells previously operated by Appalachian Energy have been plugged and abandoned.
Okay, so currently there is no pooling order pertaining to unit H36.
That's correct.
Okay, and the development that we're proposing is under the Oakwood coal bed methane gas field 2 rules, correct?
Yes.
And will this be a sealed or an unsealed unit?
Currently unsealed.
What did you do to notify people that we were going to have a hearing today to pool this unit under Oakwood 2?
The unleased interests were provided a copy of the petition by certified mail with return receipt requested. and notification was also published in the Bluefield Daily Telegraph.
And have you provided proof of publication and your certificates with regard to mailing to the division?
Yes,
And you show in your notice, I think just one respondent, the B.W. McDonald Testamentary Trust, correct?
yes,
Do you want to add any respondents at this point?
no,
And obviously, you still haven't reached an agreement with the trust, so we need to move forward pertaining to their interest, right?
yes.
Okay. If we go to the PDF page 5, we have a plat of the 80-acre Oakwood unit, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And at PDF page 8, we have an exhibit B, and is that a list of all owners and claimants within the 80-acre unit?
yes, it is.
Go to PDF page 23, we have an exhibit B3, and what is that?
That lists the sole unleased owner within the unit.
Okay, the trust again, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and how many acres within this 80-acre unit are unleased, and what does that represent of the total percentage in the unit?
0.8430 acres for 1.0538% of the 80-acre unit.
The next page is what?
That is a current estimate of the cost of a gob well drilled in the east panel.
Notice that well, there's no charge for stimulation and fracturing. It's just a gob well, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And the page that follows is what?
That is the estimate of allowable costs by panel, taking into consideration the total number of wells drilled within each panel that intersects unit H36 and allocating the costs attributable to unit H36 based on its percentage of each 15 east and 16 east panel.
And we'll eventually see a map that illustrates this, but is it a fact that the H36 unit is to the west of the panel and just catches a small portion of the panels, the two panels at issue?
Yes, it's at the end of both of these panels.
Okay, and that's why the percentages are relatively modest.
Yes,
And although at first glance, the percentages look like they might be the same number, they are definitely not. They're slightly different.
they are.
Okay. And is the amount shown for panel 15 and panel 16 then the cost allocation that people who might want to participate should use as a starting point in the math?
Yes,
Go to the next page, which is page 26 of the PDF. This shows us the mining in 15 east and 16 east, the sort of west end of the mining, and we can see the mains and the entries on either side of the panels. And then you've got the Oakwood unit outlined as well, so we can actually see that it's just catching a small piece of the two panels.
yes,
And then the last item, which you have, once again, we've got a proposed order that could be used in the event the application is approved.
that's correct.
What are your recommendations to the board in terms of compensation for folks who might be deemed to be leased in this unit?
A 12.5% royalty and a $5 per acre per year, paid up 10-year lease.
And is it your opinion that this unit and the creation, or this unit and the production from a Oakwood 2 is a reasonable way to produce gas remaining under this or within this unit for the benefit of all of the owners?
Yes,
And is it your opinion that if you combine the leases and purchases that the applicant has made of coal bed methane interests in this unit with the folks, well, with the one party or parties, the one trust that we're pooling, that will protect the correlative rights of all owners?
yes.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Questions from the board? One quick question. On page 5 of the plat, I see the well, H36, that well has already been drilled, is that correct?
Yes,
And also you mentioned there were some plug wells for Appalachian Energy. Am I missing those wells on the plat that have already been drilled and plugged?
they're not represented on the plat, so since they were plugged and abandoned, if they need to be, we can revise the plat.
We usually have all plugged and abandoned wells also shown on the plats.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we need to have those shown. If you could correct that plat and get that.
I think it was AE 196, wasn't it, Kelly?
Yes,
Okay, we'll put that on the plat.
And the final question, there's no need for an escrow on this application, is that correct?
there is not.
Thank you. That's all questions I have. Any other questions from the board? Board operates under a motion. Anyone would like to make a motion with this application?
I'll offer a motion for approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, sir. Good, Ms. Gilmore, will you call the board, please?
Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mr. Harris,
Yes.
Mr. Jansen,
Yes.
Mrs. Gibson,
Yes.
and Mr. Cochran.
Yes. You have approval for that item? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The board will receive an update. Read activity to the staff. The staff has any updates for us today?
I have two. We do have docket items for May, so we'll be having a May meeting. And just to make the board aware, we do have a candidate for nomination to replace Lonnie on the board for waiting approval from the governor's office.
Regarding the next month's meeting, I'm not going to be available next month. Is there any possibility we could do this next month's meeting virtually? You want to move forward with doing that, or if someone wants to step forward and be
Well, so I think I'm gonna be here.
that Tuesday next month, I can call in.
Yeah,
I just won't be here. We want to try and do this meeting virtually next month, see how that goes. That will mean the next meeting will have to meet in person. We just-
Correct. I mean, it does change how we do meetings, but we can do a virtual meeting. Or to keep us on track.
Two of us aren't going to be here, may not have a quorum. That'd be the other problem next month. So maybe we want to go ahead and do it as a virtual meeting next month.
I have no objections to it. I'm
Does that work for everybody?
You should just announce it with that's fine.
Yeah, I think you'll announce it in your notice that the next meeting will be a
Yes.
virtual meeting. And I think the two items are probably on the gas.
Right.
Not going to be here anyway. So, we can just plan on doing it virtual next month. And then if we have a meeting, we will. June, which we. We'll look back, come back, they come back to July, right? They just get signed. So you have. We meet commercially, we had items for June. Let's plan on that. We don't have to make a motion from this. And Jessica knows if we need to make a motion to have a virtual meeting.
I think so, just to be safe. I think that would be the
Okay.
best. I'm looking at the policies right now, to refresh my memory, but I think that would be the safest option.
Would anyone like to make a motion that we have a virtual meeting for the month of May? Motion. We have a second.
I'll second.
Just do a voice vote, all approve? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed? So we'll just plan to do that next month. The final item on the agenda is the board will review and approve the March 2025 meetings. Everybody's had a chance to look at those, if there's any corrections or additions. A motion to approve minutes. Motion to approve. Second? Second. All those in favor say yes. 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 Any opposed? Well, that completes the business for our meeting today, and we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Jessica, for being here with us.
Bye. Nice to see you all.